In addition to your holiday celebrations this weekend, you need to make sure your taxes are done. They are due at midnight on Monday. And for comparison, just because of the weekend we're in, the U.S. tax code is longer than the Bible itself. The code is just over 1 million words. The King James Bible comes in at 788,000 words. Perhaps it should come as no surprise that the two certainties in life, death and taxes, require the longest explanations. That said, our tax code is complicated for reasons other than God. RBlock, along with Intuit, spent a combined $7 million lobbying Congress against e-files, something that most taxpayers could use and would be free. They have a vested interest in keeping taxes as complicated as possible because it is big business. Just look at how much money is involved. RBlock made $3.4 billion, Intuit $2.6 billion in revenue last year. In other words, your weekend could be a lot more enjoyable and filing your taxes a lot simpler, if not for all the money made by those filing your taxes. Ryan Ellis, U.S. Senior Tax Advisor at the Family Business Coalition, with us now. Lauren accused me of being too cynical in the previous segment. Am I being too cynical about this?
Well, you got to look at all the other side of this. For most people, if they didn't use the off-the-shelf software you're talking about, or go to a paid preparer or do something like that, the alternative that's being proposed is for the IRS to actually do your taxes and for them to prepare it themselves. I don't think that that's a world we want to get into. But what you're describing certainly has to be managed. There's a conflict of interest that you've identified. It's a real one, but there's a worse conflict of interest, which is the guy who collects your taxes, the IRS, also being the guy who prepares your taxes.
Fair enough. And in the sense that if they just had their own website and you logged on, they would be the ones doing it. They've got that vested interest. The other issue, though, is the tax code itself is longer than the Bible. How does this happen? And it would feel as though for an enormous percentage of the population who has two people, one or two jobs, maybe a mortgage deduction, a few charity deductions, there would be a much simpler code for them to deal with.
Well, now you've really hit on it. The reason why tax season is such a headache for people is mostly because Congress has made the tax law so complex, and the IRS doesn't help. The IRS really makes it a lot harder for people. You can't get through on the 800 number, for example. Congress put forward a law last year that there's all these 1099-Ks that are going to be going out to people who do simple things like selling stuff out of their garage or splitting bar tabs on Venmo. So there's every year something new and different comes up that makes taxes a lot more complicated for people. Should it be easier? Yes. But here's the flip side of that. For people that have a little bit more of a complicated tax situation, if you own a rental property, if you own a small business, the complexity is inherent. You wouldn't want to pay a gross receipts tax on just what you bring into a business. You'd want to take deductions for your ordinary and necessary business expenses. That's where most of the complexity is. But you've identified a good point. Joe and Jane taxpayer ought to be able to go online on the IRS website, as long as it's not the IRS preparing it for them, for free. There's something already there now called the Free File program, where they can go on and prepare their own taxes themselves, but it's not the IRS preparing it. That's absolutely essential. Once the IRS gets in the business of actually preparing your tax return, that's a huge conflict of interest.
Yeah, well,
with other companies.
You point out so well, 1 in 5 calls to the IRS gets answered, so 80% do not. Already refunds are going to take at a minimum 3 weeks. They could take 3 months depending on whether you file with paper filing or the like and don't use direct deposit. So pretty much what I'm hearing from you is that every single thing that the IRS does, they do poorly, giving them the right to deal with your taxes in the sense of preparing them probably is not going to end well.
I don't think it would end very well at all. The IRS right now is in a crisis that it's never seen before. It can't.
Is there ever a time that they've not been in a crisis they haven't seen before?
It's never been this bad. I've been involved in the tax industry in one way or the other for over 20 years. And people that are much older and more experienced than I am agree with me. It's never, ever been this bad that people can remember.
I guess the question is, I understand it's never been this bad, but has it ever been bad and then gotten better, or do they just keep getting worse?
I think it got better. It was really bad in the late 1990s. Congress passed something called the Taxpayer Bill of Rights that made it a lot more fair if you were to get an audit. That's an example of it getting better. I think it got better in the early 2000s when it became more of an e-file system rather than actually filing through paper. That was a big improvement for people.
So what makes it better? is the lobbying from RBlock and Intuit going to make it better in a couple of years going forward, or is there something else that's going to happen a la the early 2000s?
Well, I think the lobbying you're talking about is they're saying, look, we don't want the IRS actually preparing people's taxes because that's a conflict of interest. Now, you're right to point out that these companies that are doing the lobbying themselves have a conflict of interest that they need to manage. So I think the happy medium here is that if you're a very simple taxpayer, if you're somebody who just has a W-2, a job, a kid, a house, the usual stuff people have, you ought to be able for free to go on to the IRS website or to your state tax authority's website and file your taxes online for free. You can do that today. It's called the Free File Program. We don't want to go one direction or the other, though. We don't want to have...
No, I get that, Ryan. That's what I'm saying. As you point out, the tax code is a million pages long. The IRS answers 1 in 5 phone calls. Any other business that answered 1 in 5 phone calls, they would be out of business. The delays keep getting longer and longer every year. How does this ever get better?
Well, one very tangible way you can make it better, take all of the money that we give to the IRS for enforcement and audits right now, which they really, frankly, can't handle, and move all that personnel, move all those dollars over to people who can answer the phone and open the mail and process returns and get refunds out more quickly. So you triage, in other words, what the IRS does for the next several years, move away from enforcement and audits and toward customer service and processing. I think if you did that and you had a surge, as it were, that allowed the IRS to get back to its normal operating function, we would actually have, what passes for normal at the Internal Revenue Service.
I feel almost like IRS customer service is military intelligence, a contradiction in terms, to quote a famous movie. Ryan, I'm guessing that your taxes are already done for the year. As somebody who is as accomplished and serious as you are, we appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.